everywhere. And it takes a few seconds for everything to get working, and it gives us a chance just to have a final sort of good our lines and get ready to go live. So we're 15 seconds away from actually appearing on screen. We're waiting to see if Peter arrives, and it looks like I'm going to press that button and say good morning, John.
Good morning, Stephen.
Right, okay, let's just change the layout because I'm not a fan of this layout. I'm still waiting till we get some more. Okay, let's have a picture on screen as well, shall we, just to balance things up. There you have it. Right, so things are balanced. We'll keep an eye out for Peter. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. I'm just going up my agenda, and welcome to the show. I heard a 1-2 from Aberdeen a moment ago. Welcome to the show, and I'm going to take one of the things off screen and bring Peter in. Good morning, Peter.
Hello, good morning.
And welcome to the show and Blabbing for Britain, episode 293, UK News Review. Okay, right. We've been talking a few moments ago, Peter, and I think it is the three of us now. So
okay,
we shall carry on. Right. Okay. Where do we want to start? Shall we start with a very British subject? Because it's affecting everybody, I think, and that's the weather. What's it like in Aberdeen, Peter?
it's now starting to get dull and a bit colder, and it was very dark last night as well. I noticed it was quite early dark.
Yeah.
So the clocks, I don't know when the clocks change, but we're coming to the end of the good weather now.
I fear that we are. John, how are things in Solihull?
Dull, overcast, got dark early last night. Pretty much the same as Aberdeen.
Well, it's the same in Wiltshire as well. I mean, we promised a little bit of sun this weekend, but as John was saying just before we went live, we're going, and you just confirmed, we're going towards the end of summer. They're going to tell us it was one of the best on record, but I don't remember. I can remember 1 or 2 sunny days when we're out and about, but that's about it.
Tell you what, my wasp count has certainly went up. The wasp nest was done. It's quite shocked, you know.
Yeah. So,
and we thought it was quiet, but we looked at what was coming in, and we thought it was quiet, but it wasn't.
Right. Our badger's gone. Moved on. Yeah.
Good.
Wreck the lawn, but moved on. The lawn will repair itself, I've no doubt, in time. And to help it out, we let the chickens out the other day. They went out for a run all around the garden. Normally they penned up in an area, and we let them out of there, and they were able to run all around the garden. Seemed to enjoy it. Okay, so done the weather. The weather is grey and overcast over here, and not much chance of a relief. Okay, so let's go with the news stories of the day and talk around them. Okay, now I suppose the biggest story at the moment is the driver shortage. And there's a driver saying he got the biggest pay rise ever, a big pay rise overnight. There is basically, it's affecting everything, isn't it?
Yeah, but you see, this is what Priti Patel said when she done this. She wanted to use less other countries coming in to do the work when they've got British people here to do the work, right?
Yeah.
Why is the lack of them? Because it's been kept low. We've done this last week, didn't we? And they're getting more money now, and it's a market economy for the drivers. There's backlogs of them getting. I mean, I'm sitting here with a heavy goods license. I've got HGV, but for me to go and do the lorry driving again, which I'm never going to do, I have to set a CPC, and then I have to go and get a medical every 5 years to get a medical, because your lorry driving license is always there.
Okay.
You've just got to renew it. And there's many people like me who want to drive lorries, but they're not getting the medicals, and they're not getting, when they do get the medical, it's taking too long for the DVLA to process their licenses.
Yeah.
Because of COVID.
Quite interesting you mentioned the letter CPC, because yesterday I was down the allotments and there were two guys with me, one a recently retired lorry driver and the other one drives a dust cart, and they were talking about CPC.
Yeah.
It went all over my head, but yeah.
Certificate of
Not
professional
that
competence.
the dust cart driver had just done his again, or whatever CPC is.
Yeah.
Could you explain what it is, Peter?
Yeah, well, CPC is the Certificate of Professional Competence, and what you've got to do is over 35 hours that you're assessed or something like that. I don't know the full details, but it's also classroom based as well. I might not have got it spot on, but people were charging about £800 for it to get it. Now, you either pay for it yourself, or the company that employs you have now got trainers coming in to train all the men, and we just find it unnecessary, to be honest with you. You know, you're a lorry driver, and there's not much more you can do than that. You know, it's like asking you to go through your computer programming every year, set your qualifications again, really.
Yeah, make sure you're up to speed.
Yeah.
Okay. But I have noticed, when we went shopping, as we all go shopping every week, the supermarket shelves are getting clearer. There's not as many goods around.
It's time for rationing.
Yeah, we don't seem to see any of that in the city. I mean, you live in a town, don't you, rather than a city? And
we're out in the sticks, yes, in wonderful Wiltshire, between Stonehenge and Avebury and Salisbury.
I mean,
completely diversifying. I don't know if you noticed, but there's been a lot of replays of Sean, what's his name, who died episode things, and last night they did his Christmas vouchers, where he designs stupid vouchers, and one of them was permission to park in the middle of Stonehenge. And when you said that, it was a very funny episode.
Yeah.
Sean Locke is the word I was looking for.
Here's another. Remember McDonald's said about their milkshakes can't get milk. I was a documentary I watched about the Big M. Now there's only one company, and they've been with McDonald's all their life by the looks of it. I think it's Taylor's or something like that, and it's only them that can fix them, right? And remember, all these franchises, and the franchise got to pay money. And that's why you find at times, so there's no milkshakes. There's no milkshakes. And the documentary tells you why there's no milkshakes. Very interesting.
On the topic of McDonald's, there's an article on the BBC today that they're hiring 14 and 15-year-olds in the US because they cannot get enough staff. Oh, Stephen's got it on his list.
Well, the laws in Britain, you're only allowed to work so many hours as a 14-year-old, aren't they?
Yeah, but in states laws do allow 14 and 15-year-olds to work.
Right.
And there are rules about it. They can't just turn up and do a 40-hour week. But but it just shows. I mean, that this is a shortage across all the food industry, fast food industry. That just not enough people wanting to work there, and it's not just the UK, it's the States.
Yeah, talking about work ethics, right? I'm doing a wedding this Saturday, right? And the guy approached me in the pub a couple of weeks ago, and he says, "Peter, hello there." He says, "Do you know of any jobs going about?" And he's a slim guy, and I thought he was about my age. He says, "Do you know of any jobs?" He said, "I've been paid off from this one and that one and that." And then he's an assistant. His name's George. I says, "George, how old are you?" He said, "I'm 75. And I'll tell you what he does. I says, "George, you should be retired." "Oh, no. He says, "I've got a work ethic." He says, "I need a job to keep going." And I never thought, I think it was 74, and I never knew that was his age. I've always thought he's maybe same age as me, about 60.
Yeah.
And it really opened my eyes. And you think all the 65s and 70-year-olds, I've got a guy who's 69 working for me. If they were all been made to retire tomorrow morning, what a difference that would make to the unemployment figures. What do you think?
But would it increase the health figures? Yeah, in a bad way. If you made all these people stop working, who, because of their activity, they're keeping themselves healthy.
But I'm just saying, if it was law that you had to retire at pension age, right?
Yeah.
It would make a big difference. But hey, listen, as I said, I took that guy on a couple of years ago when he was 67. I says, "And I'll treat you like anybody else." I don't. And his work ethic is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Who have we got in?
Right. I don't think I will ever retire. I'll just keep on doing what I can and enjoying it. I mean, that's the main thing. If you enjoy it, then why change? I'd just be too bored if I didn't have new things every day and challenges. Yeah, I think it keeps you on your toes, keeps you going, learning new things.
Yeah.
At least that's what I'm doing. Yeah. All of which brings us on. Now we've got the think tanks, and the think tank's job is to come up with wheezers and ways of actually saving the government money. And the latest one is this is just a think tank. It's not even the government yet. Flying a kite, scrapping free prescriptions for over 60s could have a devastating impact. It should be a T on the end of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the suggestion is that free prescriptions be restricted to those who are qualified other than by age, and to people of pension age 66 and over. So between the ages of 60 and 66, you would still pay for your prescription.
But in other parts of Great Britain, they're free, full stop.
Yeah. Me. But because I'm a diabetic, I get free prescription anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in Wales, there isn't a charge for a prescription.
No, but here's the problem. If you go that route, and I've seen it in America, people have to balance buying insulin and eating. Life-threatening.
Stark choice.
And one thing Donald Trump tried to do for them, he tried to slash the price of insulin, and the drug companies didn't like it. Because the American people are actually paying a lot of money to subsidize us in some of the drugs.
Oh yeah, true. I mean, in the global market, we're actually benefiting from the fact that we allow generic drugs.
Yes.
It's a huge market, one of which I used to be involved. The supply of generic drugs.
Yeah.
Okay, now I like to looking after our fellow man. Beginning of COVID, hang on, wrong story. I'll come to that one in a minute. You've been forewarned. Just let me take that off screen. Hide it. This is the screen I want. Okay, beginning of COVID, epidemic, £20 was added onto universal credit. It finishes at the end of this month. And I know we've spoken about it before, but it's getting closer and closer. And all the, with the exception of the government, who say it will go, it will be cut. Everybody else is, well, I don't know. Is everybody else saying it should stay?
It's very difficult to slash people's budget like that. They're on it. But you see, if we keep doing this and keep doing this and keeping it on and keeping it on and keeping it on, where's the money coming from? And it all adds up. And one day, so are you prepared to pay more tax, national insurance, in order to keep that there?
That's the question.
Yeah. Are you?
Mm-hmm. Okay, John.
Hello.
Any thoughts?
I don't think it's anything I've really given much thought to. If I lost a few moments ago, I had a text that was important.
So the question is, would you pay a bit more?
Of the difference, I've never been on universal credit or any of those things. Even when I was unemployed, I didn't take job seekers allowance,
Yeah.
I think it probably could make a world of difference to some families.
Mm.
Yeah. And their ability to eat, because £20 a week, can make a fair difference to your purchasing power.
So you'd be prepared to save another penny on your tax for them to get that £20?
I don't think I have a problem with that. I'd be prepared to spend the extra penny.
I don't have a problem with it either. We're just fortunate to be where we are.
And then another penny on the pound. On top of that, another one for ring fence for the national health. You do that too?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. And then what else can we look at? Another penny for us. But it wouldn't be a penny probably. It'd be probably more, or a percentage more, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, being self-employed, I don't pay the hugest amount of tax anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
so to all you
I do not work full-time anymore.
Yeah.
I stopped doing that a year or so back. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. People that are listening, we're all self-employed and we've all went out and done our own thing. And it doesn't mean you're a millionaire. There are some people get the equivalent when they're self-employed of the basic minimum wage, and some even less than that. Am I right, guys?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right. Okay. Now, Dominic Raab at the moment is in Qatar for talks on the Afghanistan evacuations.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, he was being questioned yesterday, and he said the best advice they were given in July was that the Taliban would not be in a position to actually rule the country until December.
Right.
And all their planning was based on that, the fact that they'd have a 4 or 5 month period during which they could get organized, get people out, and then the Taliban would take over. That didn't happen, did it? And that's why the crisis arose.
Now, I was hearing today as well that President Biden was told that the Taliban asked him if he wanted to keep a base permanently in Kabul.
Uh-huh.
And Joe Biden said no.
Yeah.
It's quite a strategic area. Now, I don't know what happened to the government there, but here's the problem. The Taliban want to be seen as a real government now.
They do, yeah.
And people are saying, oh, but they do this to women. That there's other countries that we deal with, and thieves still get their hands chopped off, and people still get beheaded. And we deal with them. But here's one of the things. They will have mineral resources that the rest of the world needs, i.e. for your mobile phone. And it's a catch-22, because the problem is as well, the Taliban don't want the likes of the ISIS getting too busy.
Well, they're enemies, aren't they?
Yeah.
ISIS and the Taliban are enemies.
Yeah. So here's what's going to happen. There's going to be a civil war, in my opinion, in Afghanistan. We have to pull out, and unfortunately, we have to let them get on with it. However, we should be trying to get as much people that want to leave Afghanistan out that don't want to live in that regime.
Yeah, I agree with your sentiments, Peter. We should, America and the UK should bring people out. Obviously, our nationals should be, and also anybody who worked in for us should have come over. It's just been announced today that anybody who did work for us will have the right to remain in the UK. If they make it this far, then they have the right to remain.
And if they don't help the interpreters and people that work for them, other countries will see that and they'll say, well, if anything happens in my country, there's no chance I'll be helping you, because we've seen what happens in the end. Now, there was a good story today. A young guy, 38-year-old, his father looked after the graves and things over there, and there's plaques for the soldiers and Aberkil, and he says, I'm going to stay to look after this. The Taliban know who I am, but he says, I'm not leaving the country. That is one brave man.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you the most upsetting picture I've seen during this whole escapade. The military, American military, pulled out, and they left dogs, all their working dogs, inside crates in the airport. They wouldn't let them take them back. The working dogs, they wouldn't let them take them back to America. I don't know if you knew that. Now, this happened in the Second World War II. The dogs that saved lives of many, many people. They used to go out front and listen for the Japanese. That's what they done. And what did they get rewarded with the end? They were euthanized. And I think it's a damn shame. Back to you.
And it is back to us. Yes, yeah. Right. Okay. Let's.
Were you aware of that, by the way?
No. I always learn, Peter, when you. All right. Okay. So I've done the driver shortage. Right.
Going about, since you're looking for something, do you know one of the happiest times for me was driving a lorry in London? I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Right. Okay. Now here's something I don't think gets enough publicity, given the number of people who are actually suffering from long COVID. The story is that coronavirus vaccines cut the risk of long COVID by 50%. But I think we have a silent epidemic on our hands with the people who are suffering from long COVID. They've had, and it's very fortunate. I count myself very fortunate that nobody I know is actually suffering from it, but it is obviously an horrendous disease.
Well, I know one guy who's just basically losing his job because of it. And this is the guy that got COVID in March when it began. And he nearly died, but he's had long COVID ever since, and he's just about to be pensioned off with his job. And so that's him finished as far as that's concerned.
Okay. Right. Let's go. Let's change the subject totally. Something. The World Cup. Well, we've already won 3 out of 3, John, and we're playing Hungary tonight.
Hungry? They could eat a chocolate bar, couldn't they? They wouldn't be hungry then. Sorry,
Right.
that was a childish joke. I haven't even looked who's in the team.
All right. Okay. Well, that's obviously a topic of great interest.
I've got a football story.
Okay, Peter.
What is it? What's the name of that guy that's going back to Manchester United? Ronaldo.
Begins with an R.
Okay,
John.
Ronaldo.
So I seen a clip. The woman went up. It must have been a nightclub they're in. She says, Manchester. He said to this guy, "What do you think of Ronaldo maybe going to Manchester City?"
Yep.
And he called him everything. And this, and he just really ripped him apart. And then she says, actually, he's actually going to Man United. And the next thing he was jumping and dancing. It was so funny. It was really, really funny. If you find the clip, it's absolutely brilliant. He was calling him everything when he thought he was going to Man City. Yes. This and blah, blah, blah.
Well, Man United had to do something. I mean, City ruled the roost now, and Man United are in the top 6, obviously, but they've got to do something special. Do we think he's something special, John?
He was once. I don't think he is now.
All right.
Did you know I've been to his museum in Madeira?
No?
So his brother runs the museum in Madeira because that's where he was brought up. And I don't know if you know this, there were 2 of them they were interested in. In the early days, they were watching them as young men. And the other guy turned around to Ronaldo and said, "Look, this is for you. We know you're the better player." And he actually said to Ronaldo, you take this opportunity because I know you're much better than me. And what did he pay him back with? He bought him a big, massive house. He looked after him after.
Yep.
So it's quite interesting.
It's a lot of money for a 36-year-old, is my view.
What do you do with all that money?
No, I mean, the transfer fee was a lot of money for a 36-year-old.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Madeira?
No, never been to Spain. No.
It's Portugal.
Right, that's where I've never been.
I sang on national team.
You're right. You're right. He is Portuguese. Marco
I
speaks.
quite liked it in the end. I didn't like it to begin with, but then once you find something to do, it's good. I'd go back.
It's good.
They've got things called La Vidas.
Mm-hmm.
And what that does is people go to walk them, and it's just on the hills, and it's step by step, and they collect the water, and so the water doesn't all rush down and flood the place. The La Vidas, and people go and walk them. And they've got a big thing that runs into Funchal with all the water coming into the city, and it goes out into the sea. And if it wasn't for the La Vidas, the place would be flooded. So it's good. And they've got those guys that push you down the hill with special clogs in their feet. It's good. Anyway, Stephen.
Yeah. Indeed. Right. Okay. Now you notice I've not got my green. Well, I've got my green screen, but I haven't got anything. I'm using a new piece of software, which I think is quite whizzy. So I can't see what's going to happen, but I'm going to press this button. And you should see my second camera.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That's the camera on my Microsoft Surface Book 2. Okay. You should now see a web page from the National Park Foundation. I used this to do a show earlier this week on Amazon, and I'm now doing a mixture of castles and country parks.
Okay.
And country parks in the States. So I'm actually visiting Yosemite and Grand Canyon and what have you. And I'm just scrolling down. I'm also going to English Heritage, which should be there in a second. And of course, my Amazon.Live show. And basically, I'm using a new piece of software, which is called, wait a minute, XSplit Capture, XSplit Presenter. And the basic idea is that you can actually set up scenes, and the scene can either be a camera, an image, a website, or a video. And you can flick between the scenes from one to another, as I just did, and it then comes into the studio like this. Yeah.
And is
So in
that
terms of,
part of our XSplit cameras or more shekels for that?
no, there's no. It's actually free, Peter. That's why I'm talking about it a lot. XSplit Presenter is totally free, and in theory, I just want to try something live on air. If this works, it'll be good. Just give me a second. You should still be able to hear me, but I should in a second. Probably not going to work because we're live. It only works when we're not live. But
why don't you put it full screen?
okay, so this is right. Okay, let's start at the beginning, shall we? I'm going to scroll up. This is my main camera, okay, which is one that you normally see. Okay, then we've got the camera from the Microsoft Surface Book 2, giving another angle. I could bring in the camera from the phone or from the iPad as well, so I could actually have 4 of me on screen, which would be too much. Then you can actually full screen the national parks and English Heritage.
Mm-hmm.
And these are working browsers. Yeah, I can actually, without moving, if I could spell. Okay, just let me go right a bit.
Right, so you're typing in something to a web browser.
Yeah, I'm typing something to that web browser, and it will go away, search, and come back with Avebury, and I can then show Avebury on the screen.
Oh, this is in the English Heritage website.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, the web page is not static. You can navigate it, so you can go back. You can do anything you can do in Chrome, you can do here, which makes it a lot easier. And there's one of my favorite places, which is Avebury.
Very good. Stephen, you're gonna have to stop finding all this new stuff. I can never get anything done.
Well, this time it's free, and the beauty of it is that you can change things around whilst you're live, so you can put yourself anywhere on screen.
And you're using Be.Live for it as well.
Well, we're on Be.Live now.
Right.
And this is like using XSplit VCam as a camera, yeah.
Right.
But I'm using XSplit Presenter as a camera.
Right, but it's still going to Be.Live.
Oh yeah, we're still on the Be.Live. We're still working in Be.Live.
Well, that's
Okay.
very good.
I think it's basically a major step forward. Because I mean the thing is, let's come back to me. Which me do you want? That one. That you can actually set up a show in different scenes before you go live, and when you go live, you just bring it on screen. Okay.
So I could talk about insects and have them up there ready to go.
Exactly so. Exactly so. You could set up a scene, different scene for each insect, and put your camera on there as well, and then just flick from one scene to the other and tell the story of each insect and tell the story of Aberkil. Yeah. So I did just a minute. Let's just take that photograph down.
Okay.
Okay, because I can give you a working example.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Hopefully, if I can find it. Okay, I'm going to bring this up on screen.
So you
And
should mention them.
can you turn your microphones off, guys?
Okay.
Shocks Trex titanium headphones are lightweight and very, very effective because they go over, they're open ear, they go over the ear, and that means that whilst you're wearing them, you can hear what's going on. If you've got somebody to the side of you, behind you, you can actually hear what's going on. You can hear the traffic, you can hear all the noises around you, but you can concentrate on the music or the podcast that you're actually playing. Now, they last 6 hours on a 1.5 hour battery charge. You can make and receive phone calls. They are practical. They're coated, so they are rainproof and sweatproof. I use them daily, and they're just good sound and quite probably the best headphones that I've actually tried, because I've tried many over the years, wired. These are Bluetooth, but wired, unwired, and these are the best that I've actually found because they are so simple, easily rechargeable. They pair on Bluetooth, simple and straightforward. Making phone calls is straightforward. You can voice dial. Receiving calls you can do with one button. So if you're looking for a pair of headphones and you do go out and about and you go walking, jogging, running or cycling, then these are the headphones that you should actually consider because they are so well crafted and practical and good quality. Thank you for listening. And it's back to us. And if you switch your microphones on.
you know,
Was that a recording?
that was.
That's a recording, yeah.
Oh, that was a
So
recording.
you made that before the presentation, or was it a recording of the presentation?
I made that recording using this software.
Okay. Very good it was as well. Now, I've got a story about the aftershocks. I've got that pair now, and I've got the one that's actually slightly better as far as I'm concerned. That was the first one I bought. But the aftershocks, the blue ones, the titanium, I bought them for Sheila as a present.
Mm-hmm.
And they've sat for about a year in a drawer. So I went, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I just took them out the drawer, charged them up. So I've got one set charging, and I've got one set because she doesn't use them. I got her for on driving. I say you need to, but the new camper van's all set up with Bluetooth and kind of speaker and things like that. So she doesn't even.
Right. Okay.
know
There you are.
Yeah. And I've got a van just now that hasn't got a system for speaking as such. So the Bluetooth are on, and I've set them up on my phone. So 2 rings, and then it automatically answers the phone. I don't have to touch anything, and they're very good. And if I need to phone anybody, I'm driving along and I go, hey, you know who I'm saying, call Andy M, and it phones for me. They're absolutely brilliant. I mean, I'll come onto your Amazon and back you up one day and have a chat with you about them. Indeed. I'm surprised you haven't done them on Amazon before.
Yeah. Now, in terms of creating video, John, it's one way of doing it. It's got a record button in it, which means that you can just start and you can go through your slides and press the record button. At the end of it, you've got a video, which you can then put into your favorite editor and edit and add music, whatever you want to do. In addition to that, I did the show I did on Monday on Amazon. I used this software to actually present the show.
Right.
And I did a snippet of me actually using the scenes that you've seen a moment ago, and that was seen by XSplit, and they are going to shortly, soon, if not sooner, give you the ability to broadcast from the software. So you'll be able to go to Facebook, YouTube, just with that software. You won't need a studio. You can just go into that software and you can broadcast live.
What difference does it make to you from what you've used before?
It's not been available before. It is a newish concept.
No, but you used to do it with Be.Live, didn't you?
Well, no, we're on Be.Live now.
I know that.
If I wanted to make a recording now, I would use this software, XSplit Presenter.
Right, and then
It's just a lot easier to
where
actually
does
use.
that sit when you need to show it on Amazon Live? Where does it sit?
Well, it's like it's me now. This is it. Yeah, this
Right,
is I use Be.Live to broadcast to Amazon Live.
Yeah.
And I can switch between scenes. Yeah, I don't have to be in.
No, I'm a bit confused, but see that your pre-recorded stuff.
The video next to you, yeah, next to
Where
me.
is it sitting right now that where do you click to get it up?
Right, okay. Sorry, Peter. The video is actually down in the staging area on the Be.Live studio. I uploaded the video to Be.Live. Is the short answer.
Uploaded it to Be.Live, right? But does it sit within a file in Presenter when you're not using Be.Live?
Right. Okay. Sorry. Right. Okay. Presenter you can use to record a video, which is the one we just watched with Aftershocks. You can also use it as a camera, and I'm currently using it as a camera to come into Be.Live. So this is me live.
Yeah.
But I'm not on XSplit VCam. I'm on XSplit Presenter.
Right. So XSplit Presenter is also like a camera.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, it comes in as a camera.
Okay.
Right. And it allows you to switch around.
I think you need to make a video of this.
I'm going to. I've been invited by OneStream to broadcast into their group. They're the people who basically they do content distribution. So we send our signal to OneStream. They send it out to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Yeah. And I'm using it on Amazon Live now, and they've asked me to do a presentation in their group, which I'm going to do next week. So
I was going to say about presenting, but I done a video, right, for it was me. Andy came out and filmed me doing a wasp nest, and it's me start. I don't know if you've seen it. It was me starting speaking, right?
Yeah.
I've done it for a week. I've had 300, well, more than that, 300 and odd. I haven't looked lately. Visits to the website because of it.
Brilliant.
You know, they learn more. And then I've said to the guys when they go out, you must ask the customer. Well, the call center do it too. And they'll say, but they'll say internet. And I say to the guys, when you go there, where did you get their name? Wouldn't be was it Facebook or was it Google? You know, find that out. But what a job getting the guys to do that. You know, I'll say you must ask the customer. But I went into Clicky, and there's been. Last time I looked, there was 300 and odd. I'll have to have a final look at it. Yeah. So video does make a difference.
Yep.
Don, what say you?
Video obviously makes a difference.
Yeah.
But it's only any good if it brings you worthwhile people.
Yeah, that's why I trying to find out when they call who's using it. You know, who. I don't know what. I'm maybe going to have to incentivize, say, find out who it is, and there'll be a bonus for the winner of the most that brings me in because the call center do it too, you know.
Yeah.
And I'll have to have a word with them as well to see if they can narrow it down a bit. Very good. Oh, by the way, I've actually had a shot. See these aftershocks? I've actually done a shower with them on. Had a shower.
Well, they are waterproof, aren't they?
Yeah. You see them dipping them into water. Have you seen that?
Yeah, yeah.
So I wear them in the shower and I can listen to all my political broadcasts. Brilliant.
Do I do the story about Weatherspoons running out of beer, John?
I haven't heard anything about Weatherspoons, so
They've run low on beer. Only Coors beer and another one as well. Okay, and we covered that story. Let's just see what is left. We've done Dominic Raab, we've done the World Cup, we've done coronavirus. Done the weather as well.
Going back to the drivership, Priti Patel wants basically British people driving British lorries, but they may have to get people from abroad in on a visa to work on a temporary basis, like an agency.
Yeah. Indeed. Right, are we live today, John, at 4 o'clock?
I think so.
Asking for a friend.
Reason why not? I don't know what we're going to talk about, but
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we never get any feedback. That's the disappointment. Nobody ever says, "Can you show us this or talk about that?"
There's been a change on Facebook in recent months. We always know that Facebook is in control of the reach. You know, there's a number of people who can actually see us, never mind comment.
Yeah.
And that's just tumbled for everybody. And that's big names, small names, everybody's been on the receiving end of not having any reach. And the result of that is there aren't any comments these days. So basically we're broadcasting and people come in to watch and then they move on to the next thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the beautiful thing about Facebook is that the sound is on by default, which is probably good. On Amazon, the sound is not on. You've got to actually switch it on.
Right.
So
all right.
But broadcasting as a whole at the moment, I think people have got Zoom fatigue. They've got video fatigue. When we first started this 293 weeks ago or more, then we were a novelty. Video was a novelty. We've now got to the stage where live video is mainstream. Yeah, and we're competing with millions of other people for people's time. Yeah.
Saturation is the word.
Yeah.
That's a good word, yeah.
And as I've said before as well, even very, very well-known names who've got thousands of people following them, they'll only get about 8 coming onto a live broadcast now.
Yep, that's it. It's just the market has changed totally as far as live video is concerned. And you're not going to get the comments. People don't watch live anymore. They'll catch the replay on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, people still watch. I mean, this show is watched. We just don't know by who, because if you don't comment, we've no idea. But there are people actually watching it. Yeah, I don't know. Amazon is totally different because Amazon bring the audience to you. Yeah. I mean, the broadcast I did last night had 2,500 views, which I didn't attract a single one of those people. Yeah.
Right. I'm just looking at detailed results here for Facebook. 336 clicks for the week.
Yeah.
I know people have phoned us, so it's more than paid for the advert. I know that.
Yeah.
Cost per click was 10 pence. Yeah. But I don't know if there's any other way to find out who's phoned you. Yeah. 40% were women and 58% were men.
And you're the 2%?
Oh, don't know who they are.
Robots.
He, she's or something.
Right. Okay. 1 in 7 people who book a table at a pub for a meal or a restaurant for a meal just don't turn up.
Shocking.
I think it's dishonourable.
Yeah.
I mean, you're actually wasting people's time. You're actually costing them money, because if you've got a restaurant and you know that all the covers are going to be taken all night, you're turning people away, and some restaurants are, and suddenly somebody doesn't turn up, you've lost money.
This used to go on before COVID, though. It's not a new or unique thing.
Right. Okay.
A lot of people are blaming COVID, but I have a friend who's got an Indian restaurant, and he says people book and don't turn up, and have done for the last 20 years, book and not turn up.
I actually had the opposite one day. It says, is it okay just to come into this restaurant? And I says, no, you got to book. It's got to book. I says, we can't just turn up then. No, we need you to book. Well, I booked and I turned up, and I kid you not, we were the only ones there. This was years ago. But you see, I get to my industry, believe it or not, in my industry, guys down south will tell them I don't get much of it. Guy gets a call out to come out, 3 o'clock, say. He turns up, and another pest control van turns up at the same time. Says to the woman, what's happening here? So I'll just see who would turn up the quickest. What do you think of that? But the two guys decided, because they knew each other, says, well, there you go, we're both here and we're both leaving. Goodbye.
Crazy. Okay.
How about Mr. Mendy, the footballer? They've decided, as the court has decided, he's been charged with multiple rapes.
Oh yeah.
A French footballer playing for Manchester City, and he's been refused bail because they consider him to be a flight risk.
Yes, and also when he was put in prison, he thought he was getting a VIP room. Did you know that? It was in the paper this morning. He thought he was going to be treated like a VIP. He says, no, you're a nonce. You'll be treated like any other nonce. There you go.
So you can have an awful lot of money and be treated like any other man in the street.
Absolutely. A lot of people, because they're rich and famous, think they can get away with a lot of things, but it's not that way.
And he's been suspended by his club as well, so that's quite interesting.
Yeah. No, you know what times that. There's a teacher just been sacked in America because my friends at Project Veritas are recording him, having a chat with somebody. He says, I've got 180 minutes, it was 100, to convert them to be communists. And do you know what he did in his classroom? The Chinese, is it Mao Zedong? And he'd also things in his wall and everything, and recorded him. And he was teaching the kids to rebel. Doesn't have that job now.
No. Talking about somebody who might get his job back, let's go to Good Morning Britain.
There you go. That was his tweet. He says, do I get my job back? And I really think, if you don't like him, fair enough. But the thing is, you shouldn't be cancelled for something you say that is true. And it's just this, I think it's backfiring, this cancel culture now, you know? And have you seen GMB's figures since he left? Have you seen it?
No.
Go and look the graph.
Yeah.
He did 14 million that day. Now it's down to about 600,000 viewers.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, basically, I mean, you were entitled to your personal beliefs. The question is, should you air them on live television? That was the question that's been decided, and yes, you can.
Yes.
And the thing is that there were 3 people live on the show at the same time: his co-presenter, the weatherman, and somebody else, and they all argued against him. So the opinion was that in the end there was a balanced view, because it wasn't just Piers Morgan on a rant. Forgive me, Peter, but rant he was. There was a balanced view overall, and that's basically what the
He was cancelled. He was cancelled for it.
Yeah.
Although his bosses wanted him. Did you know his bosses wanted him to go on and apologise? Did you know that?
No.
Well, there you go. They wanted him to apologise, and that's why he left. He says, I'm not apologising. And then when Ofcom said he could do it, tweeted out, can I get my job back?
Yeah. Indeed.
I don't know about any of this. I don't watch telly much, so.
No, well, I don't work. I spend my time on YouTube now.
I watch a lot of YouTube as well these days.
Documentaries, history. That's the sort of stuff I watch now. Watch a lot of Facebook. Facebook, you listen to me. I watch a lot of Facebook videos that come up, and you scroll through. And
I see Burnley did some last-minute business yesterday.
They did. What did they do?
They bought Connor Roberts from Swansea.
Ah, good. They'll survive again. That's my hope.
It's not looking too good at the moment, though, is it?
We've got to the stage where we never start the season well now. We don't start playing till after Christmas. It's crazy. It used to be the way around. We used to play well up to Christmas, then lose it. Now we've reversed that. We play well. Never mind. As long as it all works out in the end.
We only did outgoings in the last 7 days, so at Villa.
All right. Okay. Right. So I can definitely say there is an inspired bone video show at 4 o'clock today, 11 a.m. Eastern. We don't know what's in it yet. John's not made it. John's got to go and create it. So looking forward to that. And I shall be live on Amazon at 2 o'clock today. I should be finished. Sorry.
I never know when he's live or not live or whatever.
I've got to fit everything in. We've got Blabbing for Britain 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Inspired Bone video 4 o'clock. German lesson 7 o'clock. Now, I've been going live at 7 o'clock. Yeah.
Right.
Because we didn't have German lessons in August.
Right.
Yeah. There are no lessons in August. The lessons are back now, which means that my Thursday broadcast needs a new home. So, because I broadcast 4 times a week. In August, I made a very high 3-figure number in commission. Yeah. So affiliate fees. So I'm more than happy to carry on with it. It does pay very well. I get every time I go live, I get paid, and you can't ask for fairer than that. But I need a Thursday slot, so I'm going to go live at 2 o'clock till 3:30.
So basically, every time you're making a percentage, and it builds up.
Correct. That's it.
I think I'll have to do this, because I would talk about bikes and high-end ticket stuff.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that what you discover is that you've got a carousel with up to 40 items in it, which is basically what you want to talk about and what you want to sell.
Yeah.
That is not what people buy.
Right. Yeah.
They don't.
Well,
they just go because they get a cookie. They stay on Amazon and they buy other things, and you get commission on the other things that they're buying.
But that's the thing. Have you ever spoken with someone and they have purchased it?
Oh yeah. I've got the Logitech C9 22X camera.
Right.
And 10 of those have been sold in August.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. I've sold DSLR cameras too, and they're quite good because they cost $600 a throw. So
All
I
right.
like those.
But you don't use it.
No, I don't have to use it. No,
Yeah.
no, I have to know about it. I have to be able to talk about it. But if
Okay.
somebody buys a $600 Canon camera, I get $14. So it's good.
That's good. I'm glad it's working for you. You know?
Yeah, it is. I'm enjoying it too, which is the main
Very
thing.
good.
All right, John, it's over to you.
So we've come to the end of the show. So it's goodbye from the man in Scotland. It's goodbye from the man in Wiltshire. And it's goodbye from me in the West Midlands. Bye.
Bye.